Hello, my name is Celina Rodriguez. I'm a journalist with the Latino community for many years. And the last years, I remember seeing and interviewing attorney Alexander Cross. Attorney Cross, it's a pleasure talking to you again. It's been so long since the last time that I interviewed you, about 5 years. So many things have happened. He has become the most popular attorney among the Latino community. And I also heard that you even had a kid.
Yes, I did have a child. As a matter of fact, right now he's 17 months old. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's
as active as that.
He's pretty active.
And
oh yeah,
very talkative.
Yes, he is, and he's always commanding attention.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you again, and we have many questions. We got many questions for you, Attorney Cross.
Great.
A lot of people get in trouble committing crimes without realizing what a crime is. What can you tell us about that?
Correct. I mean, I was born and raised here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and as a matter of fact, I did all of my schooling here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I meet people all the time that are born and raised here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and they're also not aware of the laws, and unfortunately, not knowing the rules is not a defense. You can't tell a judge that I did not know the rules. So I can only imagine how difficult it must be for an immigrant, and that's why we specialize in these types of cases.
Today we are in San Jose, but I understand that you have offices all over the Bay Area. Is that correct?
Oh yes. I mean, we've handled cases well north of Sacramento and even further south of Salinas.
Attorney Cross, the last time that I interviewed you, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. At that time, you were already becoming one of the Bay Area's most well-known Spanish-speaking attorneys. And since then, some would say that you are the most recognized, and I can confirm that. We see Attorney Cross all over the Bay Area on the radio, on television, on newspapers, in magazines. What has led you to become so popular throughout the Bay Area among the Spanish-speaking people?
I think the number one reason is because I speak both English and Spanish fluently. I mean, I've been speaking both languages since I was a child. Most of the criminal attorneys in the Bay Area don't actually speak Spanish, even though they say they do. The ones that claim they do, they speak it in a broken manner, or it's just the secretaries that speak the Spanish. And as a consequence, people have to spend money on translators, and there's a problem with communication and in those instances because the translators will not understand what the attorney is saying. And this leads me to another reason why our office has become so popular here in the Bay Area, which is I tend to explain things in a manner that people can understand. Most of the lawyers that I know will speak in a very complicated language that only other attorneys understand, and most of the people are too scared or intimidated to ask the lawyer what he's talking about. So I try to give examples when I speak so that people can have an understanding of what I'm saying.
Attorney Cross, when people come to you and talk to you, what is their number one fear?
Well, the number one fear, pretty sure it's going to jail, obviously, is number one. Obviously, losing their families, losing their jobs, because obviously a criminal conviction would result in potentially losing a job and not being able to get any other kind of job. And, and there are definitely other consequences as well.
So most of the people come in pretty scared,
Yes, but after doing this for so long, after handling thousands and thousands of cases, we're pretty good at getting them to calm down. I mean, there's almost always hope. I mean, most people that come that come to our office, or sometimes most people that have come and have to our office after having spoken to another attorney, they usually come in more scared than those who have not spoken to another attorney.
Attorney Cross, what type of case do you see the most of?
Definitely, I would say DUIs. Definitely DUIs the most. If I had to pick the area that we see most frequently, we've worked with nearly every DA here in the San Francisco Bay Area for the most part of the last decade. And we've done so many cases. The office gets, as a consequence, the office gets really good at being able to identify the best possible results for our clients.
So when it comes to DUI, if someone is watching this video right now, if they get stopped for a DUI, what are some of the things that they should be aware of, that they should know?
Well, first of all, you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say or do will be used against you in court. You should not give any incriminatory information to the police. Obviously, you have to give your name, birthday, address. Those are things that are obligatory. But you have the right to refuse chemical tests prior to being arrested. However, after being arrested and being taken to the station, you have to submit to either blood or breath. Those would be the primary things. And of course, no matter what, be cordial with the police, be kind to the police. They're just doing their jobs. In general, refusing a chemical test prior to being arrested, generally speaking, is a good thing because that could potentially be used to essentially take away the credibility of any of the evidence that they do in fact obtain.
And what about the driver's license? What happened to it?
A lot of people don't realize that they only have 10 days from the date of the incident to schedule a DMV hearing to show that their suspension or revocation is not justified. Now, it's very important to speak to a criminal attorney that has experience with DUI cases as soon as possible to set this hearing. Even if you are innocent, this is really important, even if you are innocent of having committed the offense, if you do not schedule the hearing within 10 days, you will lose your right to even try to save your license with the DMV. Also, it's necessary to keep in mind that what happens with the DMV is separate and independent from what happens in court. The DMV does not control the court, and the judge does not control the DMV.
I know, Attorney Cross, that a lot of people in their own country think that DUI stop is just a traffic offense. Do a lot of people you see seem to share that opinion? And are they surprised when they learn how serious DUIs are taken in California, in this state?
Oh, yes. Yes, many people come to our office and they tell us, oh, they got a traffic ticket. But a DUI is not a traffic ticket. A DUI is not a traffic infraction. A DUI is actually, it sounds weird, it is actually a criminal offense, and it will be handled in the criminal department. As a matter of fact, when people learn that the maximum sentence, or the maximum punishment for even a first DUI is 6 months in the county jail, that's when people begin to get scared and begin to realize the seriousness of the situation.
With all these people, with so many people looking to call your offices, how do you take those calls? How do you give them the personal touch?
Well, up until about 3 years ago, I used to take all the calls myself, but due to the workload, I've not been able to take the calls myself, and I miss that. That's why, my receptionist gives people appointments, and that's why we give free case evaluations at our offices so that we could personally take a look at the cases, and I personally give my opinions on their merits.
As always, Attorney Alexander Cross, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And as always, I look forward to meeting people in person, and whichever crime people may be accused of, I always tell people, don't worry about it, just make the call and bring your case to Cross & Associates.